Here we are at the front. Excuse me. Clear my throat. Are we on yet? Are we on? We got a masonry front with brick. We got some nice little soldier bricks for stretchers right over here. Above our garage, we got some herringbone pattern of brick right there. It's kind of nice. But at the top of the portico, in the corners, and we'll be able to tell a little better a little later, but we got just a little bit of siding on each side of the portico up there. We want to get a good look at that. But what you'll notice, what I'm going to call your attention to, is this tree is too close to the foundation. There's one in the backyard as well that's too close to the foundation, and it shouldn't be closer than 25 feet so that the root development, and they can grow. But if you'll notice, the house next door has a tree that's too close, and if you drive through the neighborhood, you're probably going to see that everywhere. It's likely a homeowners association, if it's not, okay, but it's likely a homeowners association thing, so you might not have a choice. I mean, you just have to, every house has to have a tree in the yard, and that's what they decided. Okay, this is new construction, so it's too new, but we're going to have this conversation. Where do termites live? In the ground. What do they eat? Dead wood. No. What's wood mulch? Dead wood in the ground next to the house. Oh. That's called a clue. How you deal with it? I mean, some people want it. Some of our rain gutters divert below grade. We'll learn that some of them are above grade. Speaking of rain gutters, the butt end of the rain gutter is not supposed to be closer to the brick than 1 inch. Not supposed to be closer to the brickwork than 1 inch. It's kind of bright up there. It's a nice, brisk mid-March day in Texas. I'm even wearing an undershirt. So there we go. And this is our front portico, and we're going to move around. This is a parge coat. This is a it's a post-tension slab foundation. I make a couple types. I can't determine which one it is, a monolithic slab, but this parge coating is an aesthetic issue, so that you don't see, like the form boards, patterns of the form boards when they place the cement. So they put it all across there to make it nice and pretty. Now, this has a different characteristic than the concrete. They have different physical, the masonry has different characteristics, the brick has different characteristics, the cement has different characteristics. They shrink and they expand, and they shrink and expand at different times for different reasons. And this parge coat is like a cake frosting. Just because this parge coating is cracked doesn't mean that your foundation is cracked, and just because it's not cracked doesn't mean that your foundation isn't cracked. Okay, and as it expands and contracts at different rates than the slab foundation, over time it will create voids between the foundation and the parge coat. Sometimes it chips off and stuff. But what I'm getting at is termites, because we had the conversation, you know, but they can come into that void because they don't like to be seen, and they enter your home unannounced. And so, you know, I don't know what to tell you. Just, you know, you always want to keep an eye out on your home. You want to maintain your home. You want to do it right. This rain gutter is above grade. Coming along here, we're going to talk about plumbing later. We're going to talk about the gas later. Okay, we're going to talk about the roof later, for that matter. But while we're down here, we see that we've got continuous soffit vents, and soon I'm going to be in the attic, and I'm going to be looking for soffit baffles. But you know, that's we do have continuous soffit vents. We have a pest control system. This is for roaches. Okay, that's for fleas. That's for ants. Okay, that's not for wood destroying insects. That's not for termites. And it's really not even for spiders. But if you get rid of all those other bugs, the spiders won't have anything to eat. They'll go someplace else. So, you know, but, you know, it's a general pest control. And it only works if you maintain it. It only works if you maintain it. And we come along here, the way these houses are kind of close, aren't they? This is called grading, right in here. Builders are pretty good about grading. These splash box, this one, that one, any one that I've seen so far, they do not divert water far enough away from the structure. And the idea is that they divert water away from the structure and down towards the street. We're using what we call a swale, and we'll kind of see that. That's what they're supposed to do if they're made right. That's what they're supposed to do if they're made right. Over here, we've got double pane vinyl frames with tint, UV tint. This is nice. Nice. These are good. Okay. Moving on along. What is that? What's a 6-foot whiskey stick? A whiskey stick? What's that? Oh, a spirit level. What? A level. Huh. What is this level telling us? This level's telling us is that it's level. That's not drainage. That means water can collect in here, frogs can live in here, children can play in here. You want your children playing in here? Your dog can play in here. Then it can breed insects like mosquitoes, which carry like West Nile disease for your child. That's what it can do. The builder will say, oh, if it doesn't dry in 48 hours, then we consider that a problem. Well, that's evaporation. That's swampage. That's not drying. Okay, that's not drainage. That's just evaporation. And then they'll go, oh, well, let's let it ride. You know, let's see how it performs. Let's let it all get flat and see how it works. And I said, okay. Give it a couple months. And they're hoping that you'll come in the front door of your beautiful house, come through your beautiful house, go into your beautiful patio, and never come out here, over here where these people's air conditioners are and stuff. You won't spend a lot of time over here. You'll probably have a landscaping company even come through here. And they're out of sight, out of mind. They're hoping you'll forget about it. And then you'll find lawnmower tracks all through here. All the grass roots are all going to be dying and stuff. You're going, okay. Well, then the argument will progress. And I'm not saying this builder will do this. Okay? I'm not talking about this builder. This builder wants to do it right. Then they'll say, well, our warranty company doesn't have a problem with it, so we consider that okay. You say your warranty company doesn't have a problem with it, so you consider that okay. Well, who owns your warranty company? ABC. Hey, ABC? Doesn't ABC own your company? Yes, but they're different. They're different. They're hard on us. No, they don't let us get away with anything. And they are. So, that's level. Okay, no matter how you want to look at it. I have the code reference baked in to your inspection report. It's a pretty common conversation. And right in here, just hang on one second. Guess we forgot the belt this morning trying to get out of here. Okay? This is called a control joint. Some people call it expansion joints. Call it what you will. Okay? This is a lot of brick. So we got 2 control joints over here. We expect, just like the control joints that you see in the streets, we expect this to move. Hopefully these joints take the pressure. They take the pressure and help it move so you don't get these ugly zigzag cracks between the brick and mortar, or through it even. You know, so that's their job. But this sealant, just like the sealant on your roof, okay, on your roof penetrations, the sealant around your windows, this stuff dries and shrinks and pulls away from the brickwork. So every year or so, maybe every couple years, you want to come around, but definitely routinely, you want to come along. I mean, you're making payments on the house. You might as well see what you're paying for. So you want to come in and you want to check your sealant, especially like in your control joints, and make sure it's doing its job. These are called weep holes. This is not a weep hole. Okay, this is a control joint. Brick is a very wonderful building material. Okay, it's fireproof. The home could burn down and you could reuse the brick to rebuild another house. In fact, it was made with fire. and it's a great insulator, but it's porous. When your lawn sprinkler system hits that, it goes right through. Now, most of the time, the only thing that's going to come out of there is vapor, and you won't see it. But, you know, if you have an event, I've seen a few, then water will come out. It's there by design. Because brick is porous, what we have behind here is a drainage plane. It was back when the house was framed. And so that all allows, we know what the brick is, we know how good it is, and we know how to work with it. And these weep holes are how we work with it. And coming on along, rain gutter's too close. Moving out here, if a retaining wall is less than 4 feet high, it can be built without a building permit. Whose retaining wall is this? It usually belongs to whoever's property is retaining. And I can see through the fence here that there's a little parkway, and I can see that this retaining wall continues. So it's very likely that this retaining wall is possible. I'll put it that way. Likely is probably too strong of a word. It's possible that this retaining wall is the community's responsibility. And it might not be. But you want to find out. And it seems to be working very well, but I cannot tell whether it was backfilled properly. I can't tell if they put geogrid or deadman or anything behind it. I wasn't here when it was built, and the code wasn't required for it to be built. And maybe a code inspector did oversee it, but I don't know any of those things. If a retaining wall is less than twice its height from the foundation, from the structure, then in theory, it should have no immediate effect on the structure. It's beyond the scope of this inspection. Okay? I'm not saying like years and years or what, so there's always an extreme example. But in theory, this is beyond, in fact, this is beyond the scope of the inspection, and in theory, it has no immediate effect on the foundation. But it's good to know about your stuff. I mean, it's the whole length of your backyard, so you probably want to know a little bit about it. I don't know. I can see right here that we've got a gas port for grill. Okay. These are soffit air intake vents. Okay. So if you're up here grilling fish and bacon, and it goes up into the soffit and goes through your attic, you might be known as the fish bacon family. So there's something to think about that. There's people calling me. What is this? 2 phone notifications? Okay. So also, depending on the grill manufacturer, okay, some grill manufacturers don't approve of you being underneath a covered area. You might need to move the grill outside a little bit to, and then if it were me, I wouldn't listen to me. I'd be just doing it anyway. Okay. GFCI, got it. But just know that you got a gas grill on the patio. Yay! We got a gas grill on the patio. And do know that it's underneath your air intake vents and that it's covered, and you want to talk to the manufacturer. Gas grill. Okay. Looking around. This is a okay, that's not a problem. Okay? That's a weep hole. Remember when I showed you the other weep holes? That's a weep hole because these lintels, these metal lintels, they've upset the drainage plane that I was talking about earlier. So when the water comes down, it goes around the lintels, okay, and that lets the vapor out, and the drainage plane goes on down to where we have weep holes down here. So that's the way that works. Let's get out here and let's just soak it all in. Let's just study the beauty of it all. Okay, I'm going to come around with a ladder and a camera pole. Oh no, this side yard's a little larger, isn't it? It's okay. You're over here playing. We're behind the fence, right? Got the dog out here, huh? Okay. Got the dog out here. Okay, not quite level. That's a good thing. on that. Not quite level. Okay, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. That'll probably hold water. What do you think? Anybody want to take bets on that? Here we are. So the water just comes right on out to, well, I can see I'm going uphill. My bubbles are all mixed up. I've been abusing my level. Uh-oh. Looks level to me. Well, how far does it go level? You know, if it's level in one spot, it can just kind of like roller coaster through it, right? Uh-oh. Looks level to me. Let's see if it goes uphill like I thought it did. Well, nope. I always like to be right. That's level, starting to go uphill a little bit. We'll find out. We'll find out. That drainage is inadequate. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it is. Okay. I mean, I'm not apologizing for anything. But I'm just saying, like, sorry, Charlie. Remember those commercials? Okay. The exterior, this is the exterior video. The exterior itself looks like it's in really good shape, by the way. I'm not finding a lot to... Now, if you're a brickie, you know, you might think that it could have been, like, more evenly spaced, especially over on the north side. This home faces west. But, in Texas, for a bricklayer, I mean, that's... For a Texas bricklayer, they did all right. Come in on along, our lintels extend, nice. You know, they're supposed to extend 6 inches, and they do. That's plenty. Okay. Now, you've got your shingles, and then you can't see it. I mean, you can see it if you look for it. If you look for it, you can see an edge flashing, and then you have your fascia board, and your soffit board, and your freeze board, and your brickwork. Okay, so we go up from the brickwork to the freeze board, to the soffit board, to the fascia board, back to that metal between the fascia board and the shingles. If we look right up here at the peaks, you see that it's not overlapped. If you look right at this one, check this one out. This one's got a gap in it. Alright? You definitely want that sealed. And that one looks like it's okay.